Good evening, East Alabama. This is the Locker Room. I'm Namath Pitts. We want to welcome you in on this Wednesday afternoon. We've got another great show for you guys. We have highlights of the Donoho Lady Falcons' first-round state playoff game, which was at home last night. You're going to hear from head coach of the Donoho Falcons lady soccer team, Coach Tim Melton. You're going to hear from three different ladies that all hit a goal last night for Donoho as they got a win in the playoffs 3-2 over Altamont. As always, though, we do start our show with our scoreboard. Before we get into our scoreboard, I do want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the Locker Room. We're here every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Also, we have our East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards have your local news. John Holder has your weather on your street. Wonder where he's going to be at tonight. I don't know, but you can find out tonight at 6:30 p.m. And I will have your local sports as we talk more about Donoho soccer. Look at White Plains boys golf team advancing to sub-state. A lot is happening right now in East Alabama. And guys, I got to get all this done and get to Sardis tonight to cover the Alexandria baseball team in the state quarterfinals. Number 1, number 2, Alexandria and Sardis, one of the biggest series in the state of Alabama in any classification. Going to be 1,000+ people at Sardis tonight. We'll have the highlights of that tomorrow on the Locker Room. Hey, I hope you've had a great week so far. I'm excited to get going. Let's take a look at the action from yesterday. Let's head to our EAN scoreboard, and let's start with some softball action. How about Coach Brian Hess's team? The Alexandria Valley Cubs won the area tournament yesterday as they got a 12-2 win over Central Clay. Callie Hess walked it off in the bottom of the 5th inning. She hit a grand slam as the Valley Cubs won big. Alyssa Hunt went 3 for 3 with a home run, a double, 2 runs, and 4 RBIs. Charlie Paris hit a triple, had an RBI. Brindley Sparks had a double and an RBI. Caden Pritchett was 2 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI. Presley Slayton got the win on the mound. She only gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, and had 6 strikeouts in 5 innings as Alexandria advances to regionals in Albertville. Also yesterday, Coach Muncher's team got the win 11-1 over Jacksonville. Nobody had a better game than Miss Callie Richardson. She crushed 2 home runs. She had a triple and a double, just came up short of the cycle. But when you hit 2 home runs, I think that's pretty good. Hey, how about Coach Ashley's first season at Jacksonville? They're going to make a second consecutive regional appearance. Their first under Coach Gary Ashley, who obviously was at Weaver and moved to Jacksonville. But yesterday, Richardson was the most valuable player, and her performance showed that. She finished 4 for 4. Of course, had a great week in the area tournament. The MVP in the Class 4A Area 10 tournament was Callie Richardson. All area from White Plains was Sarah Kate Adams, Leighton Arnold, and Haley Smith. For Jacksonville, Jay Hannah Ingram, Taya Evans, and Dalen Wood all made all-area team as well, or all-tournament team, I should say. The White Plains wins the 4A Area 10 tournament 11-1. Them and Jacksonville both advanced to regionals in Albertville. Also yesterday, it was an elimination game for JCA, but Cedar Bluff got the win over Jacksonville Christian Academy 13-7. But ultimately, Cedar Bluff would fall short to Spring Garden. Spring Garden would be the area champion in Class 1A Area 11. But great season for the Jacksonville Christian Academy Thunder, but they fall just short 13-7 as their season comes to an end. Hey, yesterday was the first round of the soccer playoffs. And how about Coach Tim Melton and the Donoho Falcons? We are going to have highlights of this game coming up in just a minute. But Donoho, they got the win over Altamont 3-2. They jumped out in the first half 3-0. Anna Kate Wallace, Lauren Wigley, and Zoe Christopher all scored a goal apiece as Donoho got the win over Altamont 3-2 and advanced to the next round of the state playoffs. Also yesterday, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles got the win over Cherokee County 3-1. Emerson Weaver, Lexi Page, and Sarah Slafla each scored a goal as Jacksonville got the 3-1 win over Cherokee County. How about defensively, Emma Easterling, Kelsey Sigler. Kelsey Sigler had a great game, had 7 saves as Jacksonville advances in the state playoffs where they will match up with Westbrook Christian. And that's all the action from the state playoffs yesterday for soccer and area tournaments in softball. So, hey, we told you, though, where you got more, we're going to talk about the Donoho Falcons soccer team. We've got highlights of their game against Altamont yesterday. You're going to hear from Coach Tim Melton and all 3 of the ladies that scored a goal as we continue on the Locker Room. We'll be right back.
We live in a world that moves quickly. And while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect. A place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life. A place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Welcome back into the locker room. I'm Namath Pitts. Yesterday, the Donoho Falcons ladies soccer team was at home in the first round of the state playoffs. And this is a team that has been ranked at the top of Class 1A through 3A for most of the season. Obviously, coming into this season, everyone said that if this team could stay healthy, then they had all the potential in the world to be the last team standing. Well, last year, this was a team that fell in the first round of the state playoffs. They've carried around a state runner-up trophy from a couple of years ago as motivation. They've considered this season to be the revenge tour, as they've called it. Well, everything up to this point doesn't matter. Everybody was 0-0 coming into yesterday. And let's see how Donoho did when they hosted Altamont in the first round of the state playoffs at home. Let's go out to our highlights from Donoho. I was there yesterday afternoon. We were there. There's Donoho Falcons. You see, they're hosting the first round of the state playoffs. See Coach Tim Melton with his captains before the game, his 3 seniors plus Sam Wakefield. Donoho Falcons breaking it down, getting ready to take the field. Let's start the action with Altamont on offense. Soraya Honeycutt pushes the ball downfield for Altamont. She attempts to kick it in from deep, but it is stopped by Donoho goalie Laura Lee Church. Laura Lee Church had a great game, especially in the first half. Sam Wakefield this time trying to get rid of the ball, but Soraya Honeycutt ends up with possession again. Kicks another deep kick off the top of the goal, but is saved just in time by Laura Lee Church as Donoho keeps the game at 0-0. This time Morgan Perry passes it over, but it's took over by Altamont. Claire Nichols this time for Altamont is going to attempt the kick, attempt a shot, but it is stopped by Laura Lee Church again. That is 3 saves for her. Donoho now on offense. Anna Kate Wallace gives Donoho the lead as she kicks it in the net, and that is a goal for Anna Kate Wallace. Right after Anna Kate Wallace, shortly after Lauren Wigley. You're going to see Lauren Wigley coming up right here. It's going to be quick. There she is. She kicks it in as Lauren Wigley, who is only an 8th grader, makes an impressive kick that goes inside the net to give Donoho the 2-0 lead on Altamont. So this time it's going to be Sam Wakefield. She's going to toss the ball back in play. Goes off her head. It's going to bounce around a little bit. Ultimately, though, Donoho's going to get it inside, trying to get it to Turley, but Altamont does a good job of preventing Donoho from getting the shot off. They're going to call a card, though. Erin Turley's going to get a free kick, but she is going to overpower this one. She overpowered it a little bit yesterday. This time, though, Erin Turley on offense, she makes a great pass to Anna Kate Wallace, who has a clear cut. It goes off the Altamont goalie, Eliza Riley, and Zoe Christopher comes up right between 2 poles and hits it in for the Donoho goal, and they take a commanding 3-0 lead on Altamont. Zoe Christopher, the senior for Donoho. This time, Erin Turley trying to add for Donoho, but her shot would be stopped by the Altamont goalie, Eliza Riley. Now, this time, Kate Lowe cannot find the net as her shot is stopped. Again by, I tell you, Laura Lee Church had a great game for Donoho. This time, Soraya Honeycutt makes a great pass inside to Abby Sellers. But again, great goalie work from Laura Lee Church as she continues to get another stop in the first half. That takes us to halftime. Donoho leads 3-0 at halftime. Donoho head coach Tim Melton talking to his team at halftime, trying to make some adjustments. Want to maybe try something different in the second half. This time, Rory Parks is going to toss it in to Anna Kate Wallace. It eventually, though, is going to end up with Zoe Christopher. And you see her right here, and she is going to attempt the shot, but it is stopped by Eliza Riley. This time, Rory Parks and Claire Nichols from Altamont are fighting for the ball. Rory Parks, a senior for Donoho. Though Altamont would get it to Honeycutt, who tries for the goal, but she cannot get it past Laura Lee Church, who certainly was one of the most valuable players in this game. Erin Turley is going to pass it in to Rory Parks. She's going to pass it back to Erin Turley. It's going to end up being broken up by Altamont, but eventually would find Hanya Roman, but her quick kick is stopped by Eliza Riley. This time, Anna Kate Wallace showing some great moves. She broke some ankles, by the way, on this play. Great agility, but her kick ultimately, though, is stopped by Eliza Riley of Altamont. And we're getting towards the end. This time, Chloe Melton's going to throw it in but Altamont is going to take possession off that's a head kick right there off the head, but this time Donoho takes back over. Back to Altamont. They're going to kick it deep to Honeycutt. Honeycutt trying again. Cannot get it past Laura Lee Church. No, ma'am. Not in her house, you ain't. And the Donoho Falcons celebrate as they hold off a late rally from Altamont, 3-2. Donoho, it wins, and they advance to the next round of the state playoffs as Coach Tim Melton's team, one of the top teams in Class 1A through 3A, do what they didn't do a year ago, and that is get past the first round of the state playoffs. I had a great time at Donoho yesterday. Good energy from the Donoho fans. Certainly gave the refs all they could want. They were on top of it in the game. Very intense game, by the way. Donoho jumped out to a commanding 3-0 lead in the first half. And I can tell you right now, that does not happen often. Every opponent from this moment forward is a good team. Altamont was a good team. Runner-up in their area. Fell to Westminster Oak Mountain. So, speaking of Westminster Oak Mountain, Donoho advances to the next round. And here's who they've got. We just mentioned them, but Donoho is going to have to hit the road. They're going to play this Saturday, and they're going to make the trip to Westminster Oak Mountain. And this is a team that ended their season a year ago. Yes, a year ago, Westminster Oak Mountain was the state champions. So they know what it's like to be on top. All eyes are on this one, and if you get past this game, obviously, if you're Donoho, you still got Madison Academy or Whitesburg Christian in the Final Four. But the winner of Westminster Oak Mountain and Donoho will make it to Huntsville, where they will compete in the Final Four. So for the Donoho Falcons, their next game will be this Saturday on the road at Westminster Oak Mountain. So yesterday it was 3 goals. You've seen Anna Kate Wallace, Zoe Christopher, and Lauren Wigley. All 3 of them had goals for Donoho. Laura Lee Church had a lot of saves. The first half, things really went exactly the way Donoho would want. I think maybe they tried to go a little more defensive in the second half, not strike as much. Seemed to hurt them a little bit in the second half. I'm not sure if it was just Altamont got some momentum or ran with her, if maybe his effort was maybe not all the way there because of a change of formation in the second half. But needless to say, it's win in advance. And that's what the Donoho Falcons did against Altamont yesterday. Now, we did talk with the winning coach, Tim Melton, after the game. We talked with Zoe Christopher. We talked with Anna Kate Wallace and Lauren Wigley. And we will have more with all of them in just a minute. So you'll have to stay tuned. We'll be right back on The Locker Room.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings.
We continue on The Locker Room. I'm Namath Pitts. It is Wednesday afternoon. We have our East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards have your local news. John Holder has your local weather. And I will bring you your local sports as we talk more about Donoho Falcons soccer. That's what we've been talking about today, though. We're going to continue that. We caught up with the winning coach after the game, Coach Tim Melton. Caught up with the 3 ladies that all hit a goal yesterday against Altamont. So let's get right into it. I told you guys, it was a 3-0 lead at halftime for Donoho. The first half went exactly the way you could want it to go. Now, the second half, not as much. Now, Tim Melton's going to explain a little bit more of that in just a minute. But first, I want to talk about the 3 ladies that hit a game, or that hit the goals essentially that won them the game. The goal that gave them number 3 was from Zoe Christopher. And if you saw the highlight, she literally went in the middle of the goal. Her 2 legs were in the middle of the goal, the far side. Anna Kate Wallace hit one off the goalie. Zoe Christopher came in, cleaned it up, and hit it in the net. We talked with the senior Zoe Christopher after the game, where she talked more about that goal.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to score that without AK. If the goal hit off of the post, so if I wasn't there to tap it in, that wouldn't have been a goal. But all the work goes to AK. She put the work in to get the ball there, and I was just there to follow it in. That's about it.
She mentioned AK, also known as Anna Kate Wallace, who transferred in from Talladega. Obviously, I believe had to sit last year, get to play this year. Anna Kate's been a great player for Donoho all season long. Only a junior for him, by the way, too, according to the roster. So for Anna Kate Wallace, she had the opening goal of the game for Donoho, where she came in, hit it right through the goal, and had a great game for Donoho. Again, it's had a great season. We talked with Anna Kate Wallace after the game, where she talked more about her goal.
Well, of course I couldn't do it without any of my teammates. They helped me get that goal. And all shout out goes to Sam Wakefield, who gave me the perfect boot over in the back line, and I just flew and took, and I saw a chance, I took it, and it just went in. But all shout out to Sam Wakefield with that beautiful kick, though. But I couldn't do it without any of my teammates.
Zoe Christopher's goal was pretty impressive in between the two poles, but I got to tell you, the one that stood out to me yesterday was Lauren Wigley's. The fact that it was a quick kick, not really close to the goal either, and she just put it right over into the goal, into the net. And so for Lauren Wigley, she's only an 8th grader. Obviously, everybody knows what Zoe Christopher as a senior's done, the legacy she's left behind. Everybody knows about Anna Kate Wallace and the success coming into Donoho. But for Lauren Wigley, only being an 8th grader, she is essentially the future of this program. And she hit a goal yesterday in the state playoffs as an 8th grader, an impressive one at that. We caught up with Lauren Wigley after the game where she talked more about that moment of putting that ball into the net.
So I had an open shot, and I saw the keeper was in the front post. So Zoe passed me the ball, and she told me to go for the open shot. And so I just tried my best and shot it right back into the back of the net in the very behind the goalie.
Only an 8th grader. Let that sink in for a moment. I know that had to feel great, had to be a special moment for Lauren. Donoho jumped out early, 3-0 lead at halftime against Altamont, really was controlling the game. We caught up with head coach Tim Melton where he talked more about that first half.
Yeah, it was a great first half for us. We came out in our normal formation, something familiar with us. We really used our speed and technical skills for that first half. Played like we have in some of the best games this season. So definitely a good half. First half, we play that way, we'll be successful in the rest of this tournament.
As great as the first half was, unfortunately the second half was the complete opposite. Really, Altamont outscored Donoho 2-0 in the second half. Probably say I think Donoho switched up formations a little bit, maybe got off the gas pedal a little bit, but needless to say, the second half was not what Tim Melton wanted to see. So here's him talking about what he thinks changed from the first half to the second.
Well, we knew Altamont was going to come out in a different formation and attack us, and that's what they did. They played a 3-back on defense, and we tried to switch it up and go a little more defensive. We packed the midfield, we packed the defensive side, and did less attacking, which is not really our style. And as you can tell, it's playoff time, so anybody can come back on any team right now. We're playing some of the best teams in the state, and sure enough, they figured out how to almost win. We had to really adjust and throw our talent around the field to make up for some of that.
Coach, good news is almost means almost, which means they didn't do it. Donoho came out on top. They advanced to the next round of the state playoffs. They're now 1 win away from the Final Four in Huntsville. They're going to play Westminster Oak Mountain. Here's Coach Tim Melton giving his early thoughts on playing the defending state champions.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate it for about 6 minutes, and those 6 minutes are over. We're now on to the next round, and we'll be tonight watching some film, tomorrow watching film with the team, and we're on to the next game, one game at a time, and we're focused on the next team. Hey, the next team we're playing is state champs. They know how to win. They've got a great program, great history, really a dynasty. So it should be a good game. We're coming in with some momentum, and again, it's the revenge tour for us, so we're coming for some revenge.
It's the revenge, and I sure hope that they get it against Westminster Oak Mountain because revenge is sweet. Coach, by the way, 6 minutes. I mean, that's not a lot of time, Coach. I mean, that's like worse than Nick Saban. I mean, you just, boom, it's over, no celebrating, let's go on. But that's a winner's mentality, and I think that's what separates this Donoho Falcons ladies team from other teams, not just in the past, but in the state, is that winner's mentality. They step on the field expecting to win, not hoping to win, expecting to win. And I got to tell you, Aaron Turley, Zoe Christopher, Rory Parks, those 3 seniors have been phenomenal players for them, are going to be phenomenal individuals. Aaron Turley certainly going to do a fabulous job at UAH. For Zoe Christopher and Rory Parks, whatever they choose to do, obviously moving forward in life, they're going to be successful. And looking behind them, obviously at Sam Wakefield, looking at Anna Kate Wallace, obviously there's others as well, not to leave any names off, but They're going to be great players for them next year, great individuals. But next year is not here yet. Right now, Donoho is looking to win a state championship, and we'll be following them as deep as they make it. All right, hey, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you'll join me back here tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll have highlights of the big baseball series that everyone has been talking about since the season started. Alexandria and Sardis. I got to get out of here. I got to get up to Sardis immediately because I'm probably not going to be able to find a parking space. But needless to say, I hope you all have a great afternoon, and thank you for watching The Locker Room.